Black American Freedmen, this is going to be one of the most important videos because I want you to understand hoodoo in terms of your voice and speaking things into existence. Hi, my name's Dion and I'm a modern day conjure doctor, but I'm also a black farmer and I'm well connected with our practices and our ancestral beliefs. So when it comes to hoodoo and speaking things into existence, the movie Sinners did a great job of showing you this. So your voice in hoodoo and what your ancestral practice has passed down to you is your ability to speak things into existence. This is why black people have to be very, very careful, especially if you come from our lineage, about speaking things into existence and speaking bad on people, because what we say in Black America comes to fruition. Prime example of this. This is why when you look at hoodoo conjure women such as Harriet Tubman, why they would sing to people. When people would get tired, when they would get weary, when she would try to free them throughout her operations with the Underground Railroad, she would sing to them and it would motivate them to move. Now, we didn't understand at that time what endorphins were or dopamine, but that would get the dopamine and the endorphins going within the runaway slaves who would find themselves being tired. And even when it came to healing practices, such as when a hoodoo conjure woman, like for example, the character Annie from the movie Sinners, she would sing. A lot of people missed that part. Everybody in that movie was singing except for, Michael B. Jordan. But everybody in that movie was a vocalist. Everybody. All of them. So with that being said, Annie, and conjure women like Annie, they would sing to people while making them a potion. Say you would go to a hoodoo conjure woman, like you saw her little shack, her little shop. There were shops like that throughout the entire South. In fact, even during slavery, every single plantation on average had at least one hoodoo root doctor or conjure woman, because we were the only medical experts in the area for a black slave or a freedman. Freedmen, even if you had your freedom, you couldn't just go to a hospital. You couldn't just get the same medical care as a white person. It just didn't work out that way for you. So while a hoodoo conjure woman was making a potion for you, say you came to her for a headache, right? She would sing to you while making that potion, while making that tincture, while making that particular concoction. The reason for that is that was part of the magic. A lot of people don't actually realize that was part of the magic. Even with Harriet Tubman during the Civil War, and even after the Civil War, there was a big battle that she participated in called the River Battle of Combahee River in South Carolina. I'm from South Carolina, so I know about that battle very, very well. And when the battle was over, the black troops and the black slaves who were liberated, they weren't allowed to visit the same field hospitals as the white people. So they were sent to Harriet Tubman, who was a hoodoo conjure woman. A lot of people don't know Harriet Tubman practiced magic. And while she was healing these people, she was singing. She would actually sing songs. And sometimes when some of them wouldn't actually make it, she would ask them, "Hey, where are you from?" And she would sing a song where they were from, so that way the last thing that they would hear when they were in their dying days is a song from where they were from. See, our voice, our singing voice, our oration, even you look at MLK and his lineage and knowing that he came from our lineage, there's a reason why he spoke so well. There's a reason why, certain people from our lineage, like, a James Brown, a Diana Ross, you have so many different ones, Prince, Michael Jackson. Their voices are timeless, and that's for a reason. Because in hoodoo, we are taught that our voices can be used for a multitude of purposes, from healing to speaking bad on someone to even making a song. This is why in the movie Sinners, you had these vampires who wanted that young blues singer's voice. They wanted that voice because that voice can connect to the spirit realm. So you understand something, right? Our voice in hoodoo and also in Black American Freedmen culture, our voice is a connection to the spirit realm. So when Harriet Tubman would sing to someone, she would, and she knew that they were dying. It was a way of preparing them for transition. Even when you look at the Underground Railroad, you know, you look at several conductors, especially the black women, oftentimes they were great at singing because their voice was a lightning rod. It was a way of connecting to the spirit realm, and it would allow it would allow one's ancestors to connect to them, to push them along. Yes, you're tired. Yes, you want to get the fuck away. You've been beaten. And if you're a woman, you've been violated. If you're a man, you have been you've been beaten just for getting tired. Didn't matter how hot, how cold it was, you were beaten. And so when you went to go visit that hoodoo conjure woman, oftentimes she would sing to you, especially if you were a man, because sometimes that's what you needed. You needed a woman's voice to get ready for the next day. Because if you didn't, they just beat you again or kill you. So a lot of black women in our lineage don't realize the importance of your voice. Your voice is a voice of healing. Your voice is a voice that a random person could hear and use that as freaking strength to move on. And I know I'm being very passionate about one stupid video, about one stupid topic, but I felt that power, man. That's why I'm so passionate about this. You know, there were times in which I didn't want to go on, and I just remember the words of my grandma when she would sing to me she would sing to me songs from my people, and that kept me going on. So I know the healing power of manifestation. That's one of our main abilities. Conjuration through the audio channels, that is a connection to the spirit realm, man. That's what keeps you going on. And so our people have used this power of manifesting, this power of causing healing, this power of providing of giving direction to the directionless. This power we have relied on for generations. You should know your power. Our voices are a gateway to the spirit realm itself. Everyone has known this for the longest time, and that's why even the vampires wanted it. So I want to give you a little bit of an education, but also a little bit of a rant about something that I'm very passionate about. If you want to learn more about hoodoo, I'll be uploading more and more videos about hoodoo, because I think that, yes, I want to hold cops accountable and do all the police accountability stuff, but this is way more important. Because if we don't engage in our culture, and if we don't talk about it, and if we don't make a big deal about it, it's gonna be stolen over my dead body. No. So I want to educate my people and others about hoodoo, about our amazing culture right here. You know, I didn't think that I was going to put out this video and it become this. But, and I don't even know why I'm even saying all this. Something took over me, man. Something wanted me to know, wanted me to let you know this. That our voices are powerful. And when we use them, things happen. Mountains move. But this is why we should also be very, very selective in when we use our voice. It can heal. It can destroy. It can inspire. That is the real power of the hoodoo conjure woman. That is the power of the hoodoo root doctor. Conjuration. Speaking things into existence.